Welcome.
What's a Star Trek cruise?
I'm Deanna.
And I'm Brooke. It's a convention at sea. It is a whole bunch of like-minded people floating to exotic destinations together. And it's not the only themed cruise.
There are other themed cruises through this same company.
This is
Jazz cruise, the 80s
NASCAR.
cruise.
Yeah, there's a NASCAR cruise I saw. So this isn't just a guide for Star Trek cruises. You can use this to get ready for any sort of themed cruise. It's the same sort of idea. If you want to dress up as your favorite NASCAR racer, I'm sure that's fine.
I don't care what you love. Just go and love it.
How is this different than being a really die-hard sports fan? How?
It's not. It's totally the same.
The cruise company is Norwegian, by the way, and the ship is the Norwegian Jade. And if you want to see plans, you can look that up. Just Google Norwegian Jade, layout or deck plans, and you can see before you get there what it looks like inside. If you want to go next year, these would be the steps to take. You go to the website, you choose your room, what kind of accommodations you want. Some are way fancier than others. But this time, I feel like the only way you're going to get a room is to call and bug people.
Yeah, I think it's wait list only at this point.
Yeah, wait list or be willing to pay extra probably. I know our room from mere days ago opened up, and we got moved down the hall to a different room because I complained. I'm not a complainer. I never complain about anything, but I was like,
I just wanted the best deal. That's all.
Yeah, I was like, oh, look, the new people are getting a better deal than we did, and we're returning customers. I feel like we should get comped a little something for this. And I called up, and now we have a sea view. So, I mean, our old room is open, but yeah. On that website, you can also find the links to the hotel that is cruise line approved. Would you say?
I'd say that's their preferred hotel.
Their preferred hotel, and it's my preferred hotel because it's walking distance to places, and they have shuttles to and from the airport and to and from the cruise. So yeah, that's probably a good deal, but I'm sure you can find cheaper places to stay if you feel like winging it or using Uber.
The Miami Hilton, if you're flying in from out of town, like if you're not from the Florida area and you're flying and you're going to be leaving for the cruise, you probably want to fly in the day before, and you're going to need somewhere to sleep at night, and Miami Hilton is a darn good place to snooze.
It's better than under a bridge.
Within walking distance of a drugstore, which that's important. You might need, last minute stuff right there. It's CVS?
Oh, yeah.
We've
made a couple trips over there.
I mean, there's other stores and some fast food joints. There's what you need.
Did you forget a bathing suit? You can buy one right there. We're kind of getting ahead of ourselves because we have tips about the grocery store and the hotel and stuff once you actually get there. But we're just talking about booking it right now. So yeah,
book that hotel. It's well worth it.
And I could be wrong. Is there a slight discount for booking the hotel through the
cruise website? I believe you get a discount.
So after you have your hotel booked and your cruise room booked and your passport's okay, get those flights in and out. We were going to drive. We thought about it. We had a crazy idea of renting a car and getting there in the nick of time and jumping on the ship and taking off. And it was
terrible.
Probably a horrible idea. What's next?
I found mine.
You found yours. Okay. You're going to get this little doohickey here. And this has a mere sampling of what to expect. This one is from last year because we haven't gotten these ones in the mail yet. It comes in this beautiful envelope, which I will keep forever. And it's honking. Well, mine is actually way more full than hers because I kept every piece of ephemera from the cruise. It's going to come in the mail, and it's going to come with these, which are important. So don't go losing these. These are going to go on your bed when they put the bags on the ship later. This is important. And if you don't have enough, there are some at the hotel the morning that you board the ship. We'll get to that. But anyway, we brought these with us on the cruise because we didn't know if we were going to need them or not.
There's a little pocket right here for travel documents. So it's perfect size for a passport. So your little luggage tags.
Oh, also,
Little luggage tag.
Something you might want to do before the cruise that I stored in this folder was you might want to go get vaccinated for any sort of tropical diseases. And they gave me this lovely little vaccination card, which I'm also not going to show you the whole entirety of because it has personal information. But I stored that in the little pockets inside this folder too. It's just very exciting when things start showing up. The emails are important because they will offer you the chance to sign up for meet and greets and photo sessions and excursions ahead of time. You can do that on the cruise too, but in case you want to get it out of the way, you can do it ahead of time.
I'm sorry. Theme nights.
Oh, okay. This is a big thing. Costumes. There's hardly an instance on this cruise where you need normal clothing.
Maybe one outfit for excursions or something, but really there's no need for regular clothing. It's a time when you can go all out, so why wouldn't you?
And there are lots of costumes that look enough like normal clothing to pass. So like, obviously the disco exercise outfit when they're jogging around the halls is just a t-shirt that says disco with leggings and sneakers. That's perfect for excursions. That's perfect for the airport. There are all sorts of costumes that you can wear that don't scream Star Trek that a fan will be able to spot. So why pack normal clothes? The more people that dress up, the more it feels like you're in Star Trek because you're on a ship. I mean, everybody's got their quarters. The turbo lifts are, well, the elevators are decorated to look like turbo lifts. It really feels somehow futuristic. So just dress up. And even if it's homemade, dress up.
Or store-bought.
There's no reason not to. And it's just fun for everybody. Even if you think your costume's not that good, wear it because everybody's so nice. And when you're dressed up, like everybody wants to take pictures together and they'll talk about like, you know, oh, that I remember that costume from that episode. It's just a great conversation starter. It's just so much fun. But one of the best reasons to bring a costume is because of those theme nights, like the pajama jam. You might want to bring some Star Trek pajamas or make a Star Trek inspired set of pajamas, maybe a certain character's interpretation of pajamas. I don't know what Klingon pajamas would look like. I'm sure they're very uncomfortable. I'd like to see that happen. There's going to be the groovy deck. I'm sure that's some sort of like, you know, psychedelic 60s vibe party. So there's some freaking awesome costumes from TOS that are very psychedelic. These are all parties that deserve individual costumes as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, so buy them or make them or whatever.
And that's my plan for this year, you know, is just going as minimal as possible because you don't really want to have a lot of stuff in general because the cabins are small. Even if you go all out, if you go all out and you have like a penthouse, okay, maybe you have enough room to take everything you want to take. But if you're going and you're in a standard room like us with, you know, a window or us last year without a window, you don't want to be using all your space to have all your luggage. Better to pack light, use that space for your awesome costumes.
One thing we are working to design into our costumes this year, which we didn't really plan for last time. I mean, I knew the ship was going to be chilly, but I didn't realize it was going to be cold.
Downright cold.
And even if you're like, oh, I can escape the cold inside the ship and just go outside for a little bit because you think we're near the equator, it'll be warm outside. No.
Cold ocean breeze.
We're going to have hidden layers underneath, like the scamps that have long sleeved, you know, build to them. I have purchased like simple tight dresses, form-fitting dresses to hide underneath. We have like all sorts of hidden leggings, hidden layers, hidden fleeces. So yeah, if you can somehow get another layer under there without ruining the lines of a costume, I'd absolutely advise that. Bathing suits, don't forget bathing suits, but even those can be themed. We have Star Trek themed bathing suits. You can buy them pre-made or you can make them super easy. Just add a patch. Get the right color, a Star Trek color, and just add a patch.
Packing tips.
Putting costumes in plastic Ziploc bags to keep different fibers from ruining other fibers. Like I have a very lovely sequined dress, but those sequins are sharp. And I feel like they'd probably ruin anything else they came in contact with. So that sucker's going in a plastic bag. And just basically putting your shoes in Ziploc to keep your shoes from getting things dirty. This thing, I think, will get caught on lots of stuff and get ruined. So this is going in a plastic bag. And if they decide to dig through your luggage at the airport, they can't make too much of a mess because it's all in bags.
And it keeps all of your pieces together. So if you have a costume that has a lot of different elements, you know, you can put your jewelry, shoes, and your everything into a Ziploc bag, roll it up, stuff in your suitcase.
And you're never like, oh my God, I can't find the belt. You just yank out the bag and there's your entire put together costume. You just go put it on. Chargers. Test your chargers before you leave, because anything you buy on the ship is going to be very expensive. If you get on board and you discover that your cell phone charger doesn't work, that sucks. Conditioner. I thought there was going to be conditioner, there was not. And my hair is very fine, and it is very windy out and about on the decks. And my hair was so snarled, I couldn't run my fingers through it or a comb or anything. So I had to go buy conditioner. It was $17 for your standard grocery store size bottle of conditioner. And that cut me deep. And nothing has price tags on the shelf in the store either. You just kind of have to be like, well, okay, I guess I'm going to put this on the counter and pay for it. Then you're signing your receipt and you're like, oh no, I could have couponed this at home and gotten it practically for free. That was a rough day. I would bring extra like phone charger bricks, extra phone batteries if your battery comes out, extra memory cards for your phone and camera, extra camera batteries. And you want to have your phone or your camera because
you never know.
You never know who's going to be right behind you or who you're going to bump into. So never leave your room without it. Another thing to pack. We had these little zipper pouches, which you can find on Amazon and Wish, and I'm sure lots of other places. Don't carry a bag around the ship, especially if you're wearing a costume, because it doesn't go. It ruins your costume right away. And these little guys fit on your wrist, and they fit your key card and your chapstick and whatever else you need. And you could walk around it. Not this costume. It doesn't work here, but usually it could hide up the sleeve of whatever costume I was wearing, and then you couldn't see it. And then I would just have to carry my phone. And this is why you need one of these too, because you can go to the dining common or the restaurant, you can get your drink and your plate and walk to your table. My phone doesn't come with a little loop for this, but the case I bought for it did. And that's part of why I bought this case, is because it has that loop. It just so happened that the back was also clear. And so you can see my lovely Star Trek sticker on the inside.
A waterproof case doesn't hurt.
Fashion tape. I found no end of good uses for fashion tape. A pair of my boots was putting blisters in my little toes, and I wrapped up my toes, and it worked great. We had some revealing tops, and we used fashion tape to stay modest. Sunglasses, obviously, a tiny sewing kit, itty bitty scissors. They're tiny scissors that you can bring. So like that size, like sewing scissors. I can't actually bring this though, because it has an itty bitty knife. So no tiny knives. If I were to snap this off, I probably could bring it, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to bring little sewing scissors. These were so useful, especially with the ears, because the edge of the latex would start to roll. You can't unroll it. So if you just trim off the little edge just a tiny bit, you could reuse them more often, because these don't last forever. Cash for tipping your housekeeper. He or she does a lot for you on this cruise, and it's very nice if you leave them a little money.
Tips for your tour guides?
Tour guides for anything you might buy in any of the countries you visit. They pretty much take American money anywhere. Okay, here's another one of my tips that you just saw. So this is an itty bitty little comb. This is a tiny little comb that actually came on a charm keychain. It's meant to be a gift for like hairstylists, but I bought it this time because last time I kept wishing I had a little comb, and I ended up snapping a comb in half and keeping it in the little zipper pouch. Because every time I'd step out onto the deck, my bangs would go all crazy, and I had really sharp, short Spock bangs last time. And this way, I can comb them really quick, and it's a little tiny metal comb that won't get broken in my boot or pocket or wherever I put it. Plan your beauty tricks.
There is a hair dryer on the ship in the room.
Don't need a
So
hair
you
dryer.
don't have to worry about a hair dryer. That's a big
Really-
item. You don't want to worry about that.
Mhm.
But you want to bring your hairbrush, your makeup, your
Yeah, any corresponding makeup to any of your costumes. Oh, if you bring a prosthetic of any sort, I think I discovered last time, especially with ears because they're very fragile, is you're gonna bring more than one pair. Because if you plan on wearing them more than like one time, I ripped a pair last year and I had to like finagle it back together and like stick it on and like to get more than two uses out of it because they are frail and they're not meant to last forever. And I'm not sure about Klingon foreheads, but instead of using liquid latex, which is kind of a harsh thing, I think it makes it harder to reuse things. I started using clear eyelash glue for delicate ear work because you can just peel them off and then sometimes you can peel the glue off too and then the ear's like new, where latex bonds so well with the latex of the ear that it never comes off again. It's permanent at that point. So the eyelash glue makes it a little more usable.
Oh, so sunscreen and bug repellent are important for excursions.
Sunscreen. We saw
Sunscreen for all the time, but sunscreen and bug repellent for excursions, at least where we're going, we're definitely going to want bug repellent because you don't want any of those tropical diseases.
the equator, when they drop you off on that lovely island where you get to wander around the beach all day, we saw a lot of very red Trekkies. But yeah, if you're going to get dropped off on an island and it's stunning and people are renting out stuff to go snorkeling with, but you can always bring your own. Like if you just a mask, you can just walk in the water and look, see what's underneath, even if you just bring a mask. Oh, okay. So this is slowly sliding from packing into packing tricks. The fanny pack.
Just for the 80s anymore.
They're not for the 80s anymore. So here's the thing. I'm not checking a bag this time. I really have to think about space. And this is going to come up again. You're going to want this fanny pack for two reasons. One is when in the airport, the airline, I don't quite know how to word it. I don't fly enough. You're allowed your carry-on, a personal item, which can be a laptop bag or a purse. And honey, your purse can be just as big as your carry-on. And then whatever you're wearing. We didn't bring coats. We ditched them in the car because we didn't want to have to deal with coats the whole time. Coats suck. You know, you're wrangling it, and then where are you going to keep it on the cruise? So we had no coats. So we didn't have any big pockets to shove things in, like your passport and your wallet and your ID and your money and your chapstick and your cell phone and your charging cable and your earbuds for the flight so you can hear the movie. So what we did is we used fanny packs because the fanny pack becomes part of your outfit. It's not another bag. It's part of your clothes. So it doesn't count. Those are just your pockets. The fanny pack is useful for that. The fanny pack is also useful for something that's going to come up later because your bags are going to get taken away and you need something. And if you're wearing a uniform, you don't have pockets, that fanny pack is a lifesaver. But we'll get there. We'll get there.
So you check in for the cruise like a week before or like a couple weeks before. It's not like checking in for, it's like checking in for a flight, but it's not like checking in for
I promise I will be there. Is essentially what you're saying? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Check in for your cruise.
You want to have your cruise documents and everything printed out.
You do. Make sure you have your passport. Again, I swear to God, I would get it grafted to my arm if I could, because I'm always so scared. That's the one thing I'm going to forget, and then I won't be able to go anywhere. Yeah, just make your way to the airport when you're supposed to. Be, the advised like hours and hours ahead of time, because you never know, depending on where you live, how busy it's going to be. Our local airport here is not busy, but I still get there really early because I am paranoid. And if you don't have to check bags, it's way easier than if you do, and it costs less. So try not to. So yeah, you're in the airport, you go through security, you wait for your flight, you get on your plane, you fly down to Miami, you land. You're gonna go, well, you don't have to go to get your bags if you haven't checked anything, but if you have, go get your bags. And down in that same general vicinity, the bag claimage area, you're gonna see some signs that say shuttle. The Miami Hilton, is it the Miami Lagoon Hilton? Are there two Hiltons?
Something like that.
This is the Hilton near the lagoon. I don't know if they're two or this one just has a special name because it's, I don't know, whatever. A shuttle will eventually come along and bring you to the hotel. Now I'm getting there super early and you're getting there super late. So my plan is actually to walk to the stores and get us food for dinner and breakfast, because as much as I love to eat out, I feel like eating in the hotel is just another expense, and I would rather spend money on the actual excursions and the fun stuff than simple meals. So that's my plan. Yeah, I mean, it's your normal hotel, whatever, but it will be full of Star Trek fans because really, the shuttle was full of Star Trek fans. The bar out by the pool was full of Star Trek fans. The TV at the bar
Star Trek bar.
It was showing Star Trek. Yeah, everybody there is pretty much there for the cruise at that particular time. Anyway, it's a strange like swell of camaraderie, this strange like mind reading, like, oh, we're all here for the same thing. This is gonna be fun. And then in the morning, there's this exuberance that happens. So the next morning, you're gonna wake up, you're gonna make your tiny little awkward cup of coffee in the tiny little coffee maker in the room. Get all ready, get in a costume, uniform preferably, something comfortable. You're gonna be in it for a while. And head downstairs with your luggage.
Luggage tag on.
The thing is, they're going to take your luggage away. So anything you're going to need, like your passport, number one, your passport, and your wallet, normal
and your cruise
documents, phone, so you can take pictures, last minute text messages and phone calls, because you're not going to have signal for a while. Put that in the fanny pack. It all makes sense. So you can just wear it over your shoulder. You don't have to wear it to ruin the nice lines of your costume. Bring everything downstairs. If you're facing the door like you're going to exit the Hilton, and I'm not, in case you're not staying at the Hilton, I don't know what to tell you, but if you're in the Hilton, if you're facing the door to exit, there's a tiny shop to the right and a hallway that goes to the right. You're going to go down that way, and there'll be a line and a table. The table has more of the luggage tags, in case you have more luggage than tags. You're going to fill out the back. Can I show you this? Yeah, whatever. I'm just going to cover up my last name. It starts with an R. Trying to get my camera to focus. So you're going to put your room number on it, your section, the date. And that's important because they are taking your luggage away and you're not going to get it back. You bring your luggage to the front of the line, leave it there. They'll put it on the shuttle. You go to the back of the line, you wait until the shuttle boards. And it's a lot of fun because this is like the moment I think everybody realizes that like we're all in this together and we're all just giant nerds and there's some people in costumes and everybody's having a great time. And this is where we met Coco. Love Coco. And everyone's just so happy. And they'll be showing you like their pins or their photos from their last convention. And it's just so great. So then you board the shuttle and you make your way toward the ship. You line up outside the building and you have to go through metal detectors. And they're going to scan your whatever bag you have with you. So they scanned our fanny pack. And then you got to show them your passport, your cruise documents, I think. Yeah.
It's your ticket. It's like your boarding pass or whatever.
Yeah, it's your boarding pass. There's a long line of desks. This is important. There's a long line of desks. And you're going to get your photo taken. And you're going to get your key card. Your key card is everything. It is your room key. It is how you pay for everything. It's how you get on and off the, I want to call them shuttlecrafts. I know they're tenders. Sometimes your ship can't dock because there's already cruise ships at the dock of wherever you're going, and you'll get on a tiny ship to take you to land, and it's called a tender, but it's a shuttlecraft. Come on. So you need your key card. Yeah, and that's where you get it. So then
Oh, you got to give them a credit card so that you that attaches to that key card.
And that's how the key card pays for things. It's attached. I totally forgot about that. That wasn't in
So
my
you give them a credit card so that they have something to be pulling when you pay for everything with your key card. It comes off of the credit card.
Yeah. Yes. And then you head upstairs to the waiting room.
And they give you a little number.
Yeah.
Color number.
Yeah.
Tag.
It was like this big, right? It wasn't plastic, was it? It was like laminated and had a number.
And you hang on to that because that's your group that you get.
Yeah, that's your boarding group. And that's why getting up early and taking the first shuttle to the ship is best, because then you get a lower number card and you get to board the ship earlier.
Yes.
Which is important, because if you haven't already signed up for excursions, the first people who board the ship get the first chance to sign up for excursions, and the excursions fill up fast.
Yes.
You get on board, you walk up the ramp after ramp, and you walk on, and there'll be crew members in costume, and they don't stay in costume, unfortunately. It's just one time when you're boarding the ship. They'll be in like Red Uhura style uniforms, and it is so cute. And they'll be handing you like informational packets, and yeah, here's your chance to sign up for excursions and meet and greets and photo opportunities and other there are a few other things you can sign up for on the cruise, like other cruises and other like things. We didn't really partake in that because we were broke. We were broke. We were just being careful. We were being careful not to overspend. But yeah, so you don't have your luggage and you can't go to your room. So this is an awkward time on the ship. And what we did was just kind of hang out in deck chairs in the sun and wait and talk to people. And it was a lot of fun. And there was food ready, wasn't there? I think there was already food.
There was like food happening, yeah.
Yeah, they were already starting to like cook things up. There were hamburgers,
like burgers, and fries, and
yeah,
stuff by the pool.
Yeah, the bars are already open. As soon as you get on the ship, the bars are open. If that's what you plan on doing with your cruise time, hop right to it. So it was a couple hours, I think, of just hanging out and chatting and meeting people, because they need to, I mean, you're going through customs. They have to go, not really rummage through, but they check out all the luggage and make sure there's nothing dangerous. And then they start like dispersing it to the rooms. So there'll be an announcement from the captain, and he'll tell you when it's okay to go to the room. So yeah, there's an emergency preparedness meeting where people from your floor will all meet in one particular restaurant, and they'll tell you what happens if you're sinking. And then there's the intro festival, which is awesome. It's every celebrity gets to say hi. It was a big party, and that's great.
So every day,
every
you
evening,
like leave your room.
Yep.
And somebody comes to like, you know, clean things up. They also leave in like the evening, right?
Yes.
The evening, they leave a schedule of events for the following day.
Okay, so this is our very first schedule. Oh wow. Oh, it's got the, oh, okay. I apparently never actually opened this. This actually has the excursions price guide and list from last year on it.
Oh, no, we had two of those.
We did.
Yeah, I had one. You had one, and we used the one that I had.
Yeah. So every night they'll come in and they'll turn down your beds. The your room. I almost called him a janitor.
Concierge.
Housekeeper, your concierge. You can leave notes for them and ask them questions. We asked them if it was safe to drink the tap water, and he said he didn't really advise it, so we didn't run that risk. Yeah, this will be left on one of your beds, along with some freebies. We got t-shirts and bags and posters, water bottles. And on the inside, it has this lovely planner for the day. And it's got these convenient little boxes that you can fill in when you decide which one you want to attend. The trick is some of these overlap. And I understand why.
Because not everyone's going to want to go to absolutely everything. But.
And you're probably going to say the same thing I am. Sometimes the places where these are performed can't accommodate a large crowd. So by overlapping, they make you choose and they keep the crowd size down.
Yeah.
But it does mean that in the middle of some things, you might decide to leave for another thing. Like we ditched the costume contest to go
to the comedy night or was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The way that we found was best to keep track of all this was to take pictures and keep it on our phones and to wear a smartwatch and tell the alarm to remind us when things were starting or to give us 15 minutes because sometimes you got to run from one end of the ship to the other and you want to get a good seat. So you got to give yourself a head start. It's so nice just to focus on what you're doing and to really appreciate this week of nerdness. Like it was really good. Yeah, so also whatever kind of apps you need, download them before you leave. I have a Star Trek episode guide app that I downloaded before the last cruise, and I got some good use out of, and a little Star Trek video game that I downloaded that doesn't need any sort of Wi-Fi. It does make it slightly difficult though, because on the very last day you're going to need to check into your flight, and that's difficult to do when you don't have internet. There is a computer lab on the ship that you can go down and pay. How much was it for like 20 minutes or something like that?
I don't remember how much it cost, but I know that we paid for like 15 minutes of internet to check into our flight, and that was it.
It was like just enough to check into our flights and then bounce. Other than that, I really don't need to. Oh, another thing I just remembered in that same room. So there'll be people wandering around the ship that look like professionals with big old cameras, and they'll be taking pictures of fans. There'll also be people with big old movie cameras taking video of fans. The ones with video are for promotional material for the next cruise. They'll be, they'll ask you, "How's your cruise going?" And you'll be like, "Oh, it's the best ever." The people with the normal cameras are usually taking your picture in order to sell it to you later. If you'll get, I think you get a little card that says, "Don't forget to go down to our photo studio and order prints of the pictures that we've been taking of you all week." And that's the same room. I think it's the other half of the same room. I could be wrong. It's at least in the same hallway.
As the internet?
Yeah, where you sit down at a console, and you can bring up the photos that have been taken of you, and that is stored under your room number. You're gonna know your room number good. Yeah. Real good for a while.
Your cabin number.
Say it so many times. Yeah, so you can go buy those last day too. You can buy them whenever, but last day is when you're sure that they've taken all the photos of you they're going to. So we did a thing that we kind of regret and we're going to make up for, is we ate a lot of
buffet.
Yeah, a lot of buffet. We were rushing a lot between shows, and we felt like we didn't have enough time for a sit-down meal. And then we didn't actually go to a sit-down restaurant until the last day.
Yep.
And it was good.
It was really
good. All that buffet. Oh my God. It was really good. And it was one of the ones that's included, so we didn't have to pay extra. But
I think we should definitely do one of the, because we didn't do any of they have 2 theme restaurants.
Oh, yeah.
Restaurants. We should definitely do one this time.
It was like a Klingon carnivore restaurant.
And then there's, I know this time there's a Quarks.
Oh, yeah.
I think we should do that.
Is that in here?
Yeah.
Okay, so the Klingon Carnivoria is back, and there's Quark's Bistro, and I feel like we should totally try those out. Absolutely. If you're in a rush, the cafeteria is fine. We found it much nicer to get our food and walk all the way to the back of the ship and sit outside. At least you get a view, and it's quieter out there, and it's nice. Each room is a little different, though. And there are bars scattered throughout. There's 13 Forward, which is the bar that a lot of shows are shown in, and a bunch of the parties are thrown in. Oh, I just thought of another tip. Listen to the announcements. Oh my God, listen to the announcements.
Yeah, because they change things sometimes, like change a room that something's going to be in, or like if something's supposed to be out by the pool and it's raining, they'll move it to a different area of the ship, or they change the time of an event or something like that.
And you'll show up outside the rain and not know where to go, especially on leaving day, because those are very important. And excursion days, because they'll tell you what deck to go to and what time, and sometimes times change for even for excursions that you expect everyone to be all prepared for. Shall we talk a moment about excursions versus not excursioning?
Know where you're going if you're not going to go on a planned excursion.
Yeah.
And because you don't want to end up in Honduras and afraid.
We had a little thing happen. No, it wasn't a little thing. It was a little scared.
Oh my God.
It's a different culture, and we just weren't prepared. We heard people tell lovely stories about renting Vespas, but they walked in the other direction, and we didn't know what was down that way. So we went the way that we thought we saw a beach, and there was a beach up there. Yeah, getting there was a little scary. People would shout out of windows and offer to sell you food. And that's cool, but we were two ladies alone who had never experienced anything like that before. We ended up following a group of pretty beefy Scandinavian looking men from the other cruise ship that was there at the same time. We ended up following them pretty closely. Just like, well, yeah, we're with these guys. We traveled, and then a group of us, like slowly this group of 5 turned into like 12 because other intimidated cruisers kept, they're not from here either, we'll group together for warmth. We did make it to the beach, and we did make it back in one piece, and I don't really think we would have been harmed, but I think we would have come back without any money because somebody would have talked us into buying a cab ride we didn't really need, because they really didn't want to take no for an answer. So yeah, an excursion is you're given a tour guide, and you're with a bunch of people that are there for the same reason, and it's a little more sheltered if you're not brave enough to venture out on your own. And I don't know. As I said, I'm a worrywart, and I'm easily intimidated by new situations. And I think, yeah, paying for an excursion is definitely where it's at for me.
But if you're a seasoned traveler and you want to try it on your own, just make sure you know where you're going.
Oh yeah, go for it. Watch out for jellyfish, though.
Yes.
Saw a lot of those. They warned us about jellyfish, and then we saw people paddle boarding with the jellyfish. So
the jellyfish were real. And so things are winding down. And you want to check the photo room, like you said before. Get all your photos ordered up, because they'll deliver those to your room.
Mm-hmm.
Check in for your flight. Use that internet. Use it wisely.
And you can feel it. You can feel it like
ticking away.
Feel it ebbing away. And you see all these people that you've met. Oh, and I kept a list on the phone of all the names of people because I'm not good at remembering names. I'd be like, John looks like this, or dressed like Klingon, so I could remember them next time I saw them. Yeah, I still have this list of people I met, but you can feel this strange, like, oh no, it's almost over. And it's very sad. But yeah, check in for your flight.
Check in for your flight the night before disembarkation.
Yep.
You're going to have your luggage. They give you color tags so that you can find your luggage when you get off the ship.
Yeah, I felt like I had one of those, but I don't know where it went. It's a long airport style strip, and you write your information on it. You wrap it around a handle or something like that.
And it has a color so that you know what section of luggage to find your luggage in once you get off the ship. And you leave your luggage outside the door, so you need to make sure you have whatever you need, your clothes, your passport, your ID, all money, wallet, whatever needs to be in something that you keep with you so you can get off the ship and get back into the country.
Yeah. And the next morning you wake up and they hustle you out of there.
Yeah, and they're like breaking everything down.
Oh, yeah, they're taking all the decorations down, and it's just so sad. And everyone's really quiet. It's funny how, like,
how much excitement there is going in and how much quiet there is going out.
Sadness. So you're going to go through the same waiting room. You walk right through, though. You don't wait. You go down the stairs, and it's all the same room you entered in through. And your bags are just kind of like in rows at the bottom of the stairs this time. And it's your responsibility to find your bag. And then you got to like wrestle everything up to the customs desk, and you flip out your ID, and he's like, "Welcome back to America," and you're like, "Thanks." And then it's so sad. And then you make sure you find the right bus for you, because there are different buses going to different airports. Don't just jump on a bus. Well, you're not going to be jumping on anything because everybody waits for a while. You stand outside and you wait. But this is your first chance to make phone calls to people you haven't talked to in a week. So check your Facebook or whatever. Upload some cruise pictures. That's at least fun. Yeah, and then you get on the bus and you're pretty cramped and go to the airport. And, it's funny, as I remember, as we were stopping at gates and letting certain sections leave, it was all like, "Live long and prosper. See you next year, I hope." Like, it was so sad. And then we got off, and y'all just kind of disperse back into the real world. And then just wait for your flight back out, which blows. Anyway, I think that's it. I think we did it. Well, thank you, anybody who watched this. Hopefully it helps you with your Star Trek cruise or your themed cruise, or just helps you get ready for a cruise in general, because last year was my first time ever on a cruise. My first time to Florida, my first time to all of those countries that we visited. And I really had no idea what to expect. So I wish there had been something like this for me to watch. Like I said, I'm a worrier, and it would have been great to have a little guide, a little step-by-step guide. If this...
And now it exists.
Yeah, and maybe we'll see you on the cruise. Thanks for watching, everybody. Until next time, bye.